Oh yeah, Craig Metrowich for VideoCelebrityNews.com, and today I'm in a very exciting venue where I'm going to be interviewing a guy that I've known for about 30 years. He is a superstar in what he does, and I'm going to introduce you to a guy by the name of Anton Fourie, and he is a shaper of sorts. And in this next 10 to 15 minutes for Video Celebrity News, I'm going to be interviewing him at his shop with the idea of sharing the story of how he got into shaping, how he got into this business, how he managed to maintain being in this business for many, many years, and to excite you and thrill you about a career path in shaping. Not only that, I mean, he has the privilege of traveling, being able to see other shapers and learning from those other shapers. So let's go through. I'm taking you through to the shaping bay. Quite a privilege that he's allowed us to come in here today. Okay, we do have lots of company here as well. In actual fact, if you wonder what the company is, I'll show you now. Just bear with me. Hello, Baba. There we go. All right, it's staying to frame. And I'm heading through right. Introducing in the light right now in the cap, Anton Fourie.
How's it, Craig? How
Good morning, Rise and Shine.
Awesome.
You can just hold the mic,
you.
right? Hold that steady.
Yeah,
Got
that.
it.
Yeah.
All right, so Anton, let's just get these boards and everything in the background, because I think the background is much, much better than us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, there we go. And as far as lighting, also very good. So Anton, we've known each other for over 30 years. How did you get this passion and love for shaping boards? I mean, it's quite a different thing because your work environment, the boards result-wise are phenomenal, but I know what it goes through for you to actually produce this. So let's start with that. How did it start that you got this passion? The question is, how did you get the passion for shaping boards? Where did it start?
Well, it started off with a little hobby of stripping a board, like a lot of guys do, and then thought after the first board that I did was, this is the best board in the whole world that's ever been made. So I thought, oh, well, let me do this. And then when you look back 2 months later or so, you look at this and you think, yes, what did I do there? But I've done it now for about 30 years, and I still enjoy every day. I get a lot of satisfaction out of it.
It's creative and it's artistic. If you were a sculptor, I mean, if somebody who does sculpture, for example, or an artist, you've got a combination of it. Because look, think about it. You're going to have to shape something from a block. Literally, there's nothing there.
Yes.
So you've got to have that imagination, that creativity.
Yes.
And then also there's a technical element, because when I get on your kit, it's got to work.
Totally.
Yeah. So let's talk. The next question is, how do you master your craft? In other words, if I was, let's say, an auto panel beater, it would take me a few years to do it. If I was a tattoo artist, it would take a few years.
Yes.
So my question is, so how do you master your craft?
I think it's a bit of time in the saddle type of thing.
Absolutely.
First of all.
Yes.
Doing it and doing quite a few boards over the years, a couple of thousand. And I like to do a lot of variations of stuff. I work in different with different mediums, like different type of foams and
okay,
resins.
so just pause there. So are there different types of foams? Like, give me an example. Is there a foam that's better as far as it doesn't absorb water? How does that work?
Well, surfers are traditionally very rigid. We used to surf polyester foam, polyurethane foam that was laminated with polyester resin, and we always used to have that from the early 60s. They were using those materials.
You're giving away our ages here.
And then we started making epoxy boards in the 90s, but nobody was really keen on it because it's a different feel.
Right.
And now that the boys on the world circuit are using it, it's becoming quite a popular thing amongst the local surfers. So I love the epoxy feels for the boards.
Is it like, I mean, the ones that I've tried, it feels a little bit more buoyant. Is that true? Does it feel more buoyant?
Yeah, definitely feels a little bit more buoyant, a little bit livelier, and definitely a little bit lighter as well. Quite a bit lighter. Okay. Yeah.
And then as far as repairs, what is the easiest one to repair as far as, basic construction?
For the normal guy, the polyester board is definitely a little bit easier.
So if you're traveling a lot and you're going to go on an overseas trip, you're going to go, look, this is the lightest and the best, but if you're going to do your repairs yourself on the beach, this is the way to go.
Well, I would, in my traveling kit, I would always have duct tape.
Yeah,
First of all,
absolutely, yes.
Because a lot of people surf with their dings open, which is not a good thing. A lot of people think that is fine. So duct tape it or quick fix and then take it to professional after that, because the boards are really expensive these days.
Yeah.
And unless if you can fix it like a professional, don't fix it, because you take away the value of the board. So yeah, definitely worth spending a little bit of money on a repair, but it's definitely prolongs the longevity of your board as well.
So I was impressed is when I actually popped in and I had a chat to him about doing the interview. I said, Anton, listen, what project are you busy with? I walked into the back and he's got a bit of bragging rights from a South African local as lacquer. He was busy working on placing a pod inside a SUP. Yes. Now, I don't know if anybody in South Africa has ever done that. But tell us a little bit about that. Just tell us the technicalities, because that was quite a major project for a client of yours.
Yes. I was fortunate and unfortunate enough to get the job.
Fortunate to get the job, but unfortunate because it was complex.
Yeah, it was really complex. And we had to fit a pod, which is like a motor. It's called a wave jet. Okay. We had to put that into the board. And it was like engineering. A piece of engineering, so we had to make a mold out of it and then fit and hollow the board out and then fit it into the board. It was really tricky, but it came out really amazing, and he's been on it and he's raving about that.
I was going to say, because the picture I saw was literally the client actually receiving it, and I saw the prep beforehand, but there's nothing better than that, when the client comes back to you and says, hey, listen, your workmanship actually worked and I tried it on the ocean and well done. Another thing I want to mention is foiling. I mean, how has that changed the industry? I mean, let's touch on that, foiling.
I mean, that's the buzzword at the moment. Young Nathan Van Vieren just went to the Molokai and he ended up second in this amazing race.
I mean, that is phenomenal. How old is he? I was going to say 16 years old. Yay!
Yes, and he did amazingly well. But it's a new thing. It's where the board lift out of the water. You've got a device that looks like a T underneath the board, which lifts the board up. It's a hydrofoil.
And it's flying. I've tried it with the windsurf stuff. I would like to actually try the surfing side, but literally you are skimming above the water. And what's also amazing, you're flying above the water. What I found fascinating, I watched the guy on the weekend. He was actually managing to pump this foil going out through the surf. Yeah. It's one thing to catch the waves. So I think that's really adding like another dynamic dimension to the sport, eh?
Totally. I mean, the guys are trying it in kite foiling, surf foiling, sub foiling and stuff. And the advantage with it is the guys that's really good, they go for 10, 12 minutes non-stop pumping out, and they're catching 20, 30 waves in a few minutes.
I mean, that changes everything. Okay, so Anton, what we're going to do, I just want you to demonstrate to the audience. I'm going to hold the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I want you to demonstrate, what do you look for when you're actually doing the shaping? So I want to get the board in here. So I've got my face in here as well. All right, so I'm going to just turn around. Okay, so if you can grab the mic again. Just position it close to your mouth. All right, I want to get this in, and I just want you to explain, when you're shaping a board, what are you actually looking for? So let's just start with the basics. If you can get into, there we go. Perfect.
Well, the basics are, you've got a curve, which is called the rocker, and you've got your rails. So you look at your curve and you look at the bottom, because the bottom can have a V or a concave.
Okay, so let's just lift that up.
And each
perfect
little variation changes the board quite a lot. If you've got a V, you're going to go makes it go from rail to rail a little bit easier. Concave, give it a little bit more lift for speed.
Okay.
So that's it. And then when you shape, you want to get everything to flow. And that's and then you want to get your foil right, your thickness distribution throughout the board, which is really important.
Right, so let me grab this quickly. Okay, so I'm going to just use this. So what's amazing is there's a lot of technicalities around it right now. And over the years, and that's why when you're using a shaper, you want to get somebody who basically has got that experience, because they'll know, for example, when I head back towards the board here, and let's just look at these boards and run us through some of the shapes and designs, because that kind of explains it. So what Anton was actually referring to, if you look at the nose shapes, you get a rounded nose shape at the top there, right? You get a really, really sharp nose shape. All these have an effect on how they perform in the water. From actually taking off to like a late takeoff will have a different effect if you have a different nose. So I think if you can just explain that to the audience, well, what shape kind of works for what? I mean, there's this massive long board here. Just, for the person who doesn't know anything.
For a total beginner, which I get a lot of people asking questions as well, what's the right board?
Yes.
Foam is your friend. So go as big and wide as possible. Long, wide, thick. That's what the beginner wants. That's not a total beginner board, but it's perfect for beginners. It's a long board, it's like a traditional
So that's
board.
about 9, is that over 9 foot from what I'm looking at?
A long board's over 9 foot, yes. Then you can go down to what they call a minimal
Right, let me get that in there.
which is this.
Right.
That's for beginners can also use it, but smaller beginners. And then you get all different types of shapes. So as people come down, they can go to smaller boards, which is more performance orientated.
I love the graphics, man. Let's talk graphics. Can anybody have any graphic that they want?
Yeah. When you go to any custom shaper, they could put on most of the designs that you like, or any design that you like.
Yeah.
Within reason, of course.
Yeah.
So designs and stuff like that. A custom board is personalized to what you want, So, and if you go to the shaper, you tell him what you need, and he will give you suggestions. He'll listen to what you say, or what your needs are, and then he will also be able to give you some advice and steer you in the right direction if you're not sure. Let me just tell you this. So this is the epoxy boards. Okay, so they look very similar.
Yeah, I mean, they look almost identical, yeah.
Yeah. So there's quite a lot different to this is quite a lot different to those. There's no stringer here, which is this little wooden.
Oh, correct. Yes, there's a wooden stringer difference. I'll get that in frame. Yeah.
And the rails is actually, we sprayed it black, but it's actually carbon, so which gives it the carbon actually acts as a stringer.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, how does it get the stiffness then? Okay, that makes sense.
So the
that's why
carbon
you
is
got the carbon.
parabolic. Parabolic stringers, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Because I was queried why they did that. That makes sense because your rigidity is still in
Feel
place.
that.
Oh my gosh, that thing can fly away.
Yeah.
Let me feel this, just to give you an idea. Okay, it's a little bit heavier, but yeah, you can definitely feel the difference. There is a difference, without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so Anton, we're getting towards the end of our interview. Just some other technicalities, like how do we get hold of you? I'm sure you're active on Instagram. I also want to mention the school side. I know you're very active in getting kids involved in the whole surfing side. I'm very pro what I call healthy addictions. We all need our kids to be taking up activities, outdoors, ocean, healthy addiction. So the question is, what are you doing as far as the kids in schools?
We do. I like to pass on a lot. I like to pass on to people either through teaching them to surf or with the kids to introduce the kids to the beach lifestyle. I call it introducing them with our holiday clubs.
And it's an amazing lifestyle, eh?
Yes.
I've actually watched the kids down there. He sets up like a shade and everything like that, and you see they just want to all sprint into the ocean. You can see the joy and happiness from the kids.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing to see how much fun the kids are having and stuff. So it's a blessing to go down every day when we're doing the holiday clubs and to see the happy faces, smiley faces and stuff. If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see, and you search for Atlantic Surf Holiday Clubs, you will see on the photos the joy that the kids are going through in the water.
Yeah, I mean, it's healthy. It's healthy habits, it's healthy addictions that you get your kids into. It's also family orientated. So that's another reason why I'm so excited to highlight this as a feature. So in summary, I'm going to give some of the key points. So there is foiling. Please go check that out. There's lots on YouTube. Anton is a shaper. He's been around for over 30 years, massive experience. So he can customize exactly what you want. I know him as a person. He's a great human being. To me, that's as important as being a great shaper. He also loves to be in the water himself.
Yeah.
So he's not one of those guys who's a theorist and he's been shaping, but he's not surfing anymore. He's active in the water. And then also around the sub side, I'm proud of the fact that he's done one of those pods, and I'll post one of the pictures as well so you can see what that looked like. And then also travel. He's done a lot of travels. But the real reason why getting together is so that you as an audience can see that, if you want to do a career and you love surfing and you are creative and you got a little bit of technicalities and got the discipline, then you can follow in the footsteps of a guy like Anton and you can shine your talent. So my final question is, so what's the buzz? What excites you still after 30 years? I mean, it's not a board to board, right? You know what you're doing. There's no doubt. What's the real excitement? Why get so excited to do this stuff every day?
Because it's creative, and every day I am excited to come to work, and that's the fun thing for me about my job or
your industry, your career.
Industry.
Yeah.
Because every day is different. I get totally sucked into what I'm doing, and then when I'm finished here, I can go and play and test out what we're doing, and that's the most amazing feeling. And to see other people on what you created is just amazing.
I mean, that is it. I mean, it must be quite a buzz when somebody comes off the ocean and goes, "Hey, Anton, thank you. I love my board." Because I've obviously seen some of those pics as well, where it's amazing because people have spent their hard-earned money with you. But at the same time as they're celebrating having spent the money with you because of the experience.
Yeah, it's actually a total blessing to be able to be doing that and to enrich people's lives. Actually, that's what I feel. I'm actually enriching their lifestyles.
I mean, you're selling happiness. Isn't that a fantastic job?
Exactly.
Right, so this is Anton Fourie, an amazing guy. Please support him. This will be on videocelebritynews.com. This is the Good News channel. My name is Craig Metrowich. Thanks for joining us. Go and look at the superstars, the celebrities. The local is lacquer. And share and support. And make sure to support our locals. This is a wrap.
Thanks, Craig.
Pleasure, Anton.